One night, fast asleep, I woke up to a sound. It was a loud boom, boom, boom. And I was certain there were bears in the house. Upstairs in the kitchen, I called security and I called a friend who told me to get into this one room with the dogs. The room had windows all the way around and an exit outside and also back into the house and stay there. Security came and scared off whatever it was. There were no bears in the house. All of it had been outside. And then in the morning, security called and said, do me a favor, go outside and look for cat tracks. And there they were. 3 different size paw prints in the snow and in the mud, on the roof of the house and all around it. Everywhere Rico had been running the day before when a coworker and I were out tossing a football around. And along the deck railing, right outside the sliders, where I had been sitting with the dogs and watching television the night before, the mountain lions were pacing on the deck looking for my dogs. Good morning, day 44 of Turquoise Rising. This was COVID summer 2020, and I had driven across the country to Vail, Colorado, to a house high up in Cordillera on the side of the White River National Forest. 5 bedrooms, massive windows, and a wraparound porch hanging over a deep drop down the mountain. And I lived right in the middle of the wildlife. Eagles flew by at eye level several times a day. Amazing, but terrifying with 3 little dogs. And the dogs always sat under the picnic table where the eagles could not swoop and reach them, and I think they knew. Elk came through the backyard once a day, sometimes up to 300 of them. And I always knew they were coming because Rico would start this little low growl. And their little babies were so loud and so cute. And a little fox came to the house every single morning and would just sit and stare at me. And there were deer everywhere, fawns with their little spots, wildflowers, everything lush and green. And there were bears and there were mountain lions. And I'm just a little bit obsessed with big cats. My mom and I used to watch shows about them all the time, especially when she was sick. It was called Big Cats. I lived in Colorado for years in my 20s and never once saw a mountain lion. And now they were on my roof. Everyone I knew kept telling me to get a gun. I had no desire for a gun or to shoot an animal. I just really wanted to see one, but from my car and far away from that house. But long before you ever see them, they see you. And if I had not seen those tracks with my own eyes, I never would have believed it. Colorado is a home to me. I lived there years ago in my 20s for almost 8 years, and it's belonged to my soul ever since. I love living at altitude and breathing mountain air. My soul feels fed there, and my eyes never get tired of the views. The Rocky Mountains are where I thrive, and Colorado frees me, and I breathe there. And after going through all of that with the marriage, I had to get back to the mountains. And while most of the country was locked down and was really miserable, I was standing in one of the most beautiful places on earth. And Vail was one of the first places to open back up in COVID. We had fireworks on July 4th, and restaurants and bars were open. I felt like one of the luckiest people. My days there were fairly simple. Wake up, dogs out, look for a mountain lion, priority number 1. Say good morning to my fox friend, breathe in the mountain air, watch the sun come up behind the mountains. Had a hot tub and I climbed into that most days. And I sat on that deck for hours, speaking to my friends, watching for the animals, rainbows, sunsets, and working. God's canvas, every color, purple, blue, orange, mountains behind it. For the first time in a really long time, I could really breathe. And I was leading through all of it. And that part was hard. A huge, expensive new treatment center, and no one was flying anywhere to get help. And I ran business development, and my team couldn't get out into the field. The whole world of Zoom was brand new, and we had to think completely outside of the box to get providers to trust a brand new center in the middle of a pandemic. And we did it. And the office I love that office. It had rocking chairs, and it became the place that the team came to talk things through and find solutions. And it was a safe place not just for my team, but for my colleagues, and most of all for me. It saved me from riding the pandemic out alone in a tiny New York City apartment. Being back out west reminded me who I am in so many ways. In those mountains, I felt free again and soulful, and I was done playing small. And I stayed almost 7 months, and it was hard to leave. A piece of me still lives out there, no doubt. So here's my dream, best of all worlds. The holidays and the summers in the Northeast, September in Colorado for fall, Florida, December through the winter with 3 trips to the mountains to ski every season. My life split between the places I love most. Colorado is a sacred place to me, a place of growth, and a place where I think I am most myself. Spectacular. I'm Kimberly Shahan. I'm the founder of the Turquoise Collective, and this is my reinvention. 90 days unfolding, live and unfiltered, built on camera, one day at a time. Most mornings, Rico and I walk the beaches in the intracoastal of Palm Beach, where I voice record my thoughts, my stories, my reflections, and chase the light. Then I write them from this balcony. I hit record, and I share it here. This is day 44. If you're in your own reinvention, come and walk with Rico and I, and subscribe below and rise out loud.